Hey, what's up guys? I'm SmellyMcTroll, and this is Sonic Chronicles, right? The one and only Sonic RPG. And time's gonna start once I hit new game here. So let's go. And 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Alright, so the first couple of chapters in this game are kind of boring, so I'll go over some miscellaneous info about the game. Alright, so the first chapter is really just kind of a tutorial. Like, it's really more or less like 8 minutes of tutorial. And a lot of your time lost gained here is due to your attack stat. So, attack and defense in this game don't do what you might think they do. So, attack is the percentage of time you hit enemies, and defense is the percentage of times they can hit you. For some reason, damage in this game is governed by two hidden stats called power and armor. Power, which is really important. So, first battle tutorial, Sonic's gonna fight this armadillo that kind of just wanders up to him, and Tails, for some reason, is really afraid of. And the most optimal fight here is really when Sonic gets a crit. But normally he doesn't, so it's really when he just gets high enough damage rolls to take him out, so he doesn't get a second attack, which might not happen here. Oh yeah, look at that. One short. Good job, Sonic. Yeah, this is a BioWare game. I believe this is BioWare's one and only handheld game, if I'm not mistaken. Came out in 2008. Yeah, and the sound design is not the greatest. So we can label every song pretty much bad remix number whatever. So this will be bad remix number 1. And I don't want to get caught in the dialogue loop here, so it's important that I pick that second option. So, I remember losing like maybe 15 plus seconds because I just absentmindedly mashed through the text there and got looped into that dialogue with Tails like maybe 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it is it's a touch, almost fully touchscreen, which makes some things kind of annoying, but it's mostly alright. Some of the movement isn't all that great. Alright, so this tutorial is the fleeing sequence. Fleeing in this game isn't RNG at all. So it's really just jumping over those boxes, and I just tap the characters and jump over the boxes. Actually got a good fight here. One round is great. See if they keep it up. Okay, there is one non-scripted fight I have to do in Chapter 1. And, wow. Really bad luck. Actually got ambushed here. So I like to have Sonic attack the armadillo and then Amy attack the bees, because she can knock them out in one hit. Amy is one of the hardest hitters. One of the hardest hitting characters, probably the hardest hitting character in the game, but there are very few times throughout the run where she actually gets to attack. She's mostly just powering up other characters. And hopefully Sonic knocks these wasps down here. Yeah. Alright. So, there is no undo in this game, so it is very important that you're methodical about how you go through these menus. I need to take fastball there. And yeah, fastball, it's a power move, and power moves in this game are kind of like magic and other RPGs. And I've routed pretty much this whole game around power moves. First, we're gonna see if I got a glitch. Okay, no chows. There's a glitch that can happen that can drop a chow into your inventory right at the beginning of the game. We haven't quite figured out why that happens or what causes that. Okay, now I'm gonna get into the first mini-boss fight. It looks like Amy has pretty good health. If she's down to about 10 to 12 health, then it gets a little bit sketchy. Because this mini-boss is a speed type with Sonic, so it becomes a 50-50 who goes first. And this guy could ambush you and attack Amy, and then attack Amy for the first turn. Just knock her out. So, yeah, pretty simple. Alright, he's attacking Sonic, that's good. And here we go with the power moves. So, each power move has an action associated with it. And yeah, that becomes a major element of risk reward in this run. So you can throw out a power move, and if you fail to execute it, it could cost you a lot of time. Small mistakes in this run can end up costing a massive amount of time. Alright, so Central City, the next zone. First stop is going to be Tails' workshop. And all we really do in here is pick up Tails as a party member, and then fight the boss of the chapter. And this is an HQ zone. Anytime you're in an HQ zone, when you leave, the game refills your health and your power points. And here we go. The interesting thing is that in New Game Plus, you can totally skip this fight. Okay, so these drones on the side. I like to do the fastball on the drones and then attack this other guy. And then have Tails refill them with power points. 1 and 2. So these drones have a move called Evade, and it makes their defense go up really high. So you're already whiffing, you don't want to whiff anymore. So it just kind of reduces some of the RNG factor here. Yeah, there he goes with the evade. Yeah, everyone's gonna whiff, unfortunately. Alright, so I'm gonna use fastball on this guy, and then we're all gonna attack. He shouldn't be on evade. Oh, he's still on evade. Well, that's not good at all. Knocked out Sonic. Luckily I do have a revival ring. So I'm just gonna have Tails use that. And then aiming attack. There we go. I don't really like using revival rings. And not this early. Hopefully I can get this drone out of here. Alright. And then we're just gonna attack here. And oh, we just have Pow Candy. Okay. Alright, this is getting pretty hairy here. Guess I don't have any health items. And he's probably gonna knock out Sonic here. Oh man, marathon luck right off the bat. Sucks. Oh, goodbye, Sonic. So this fight's either going to take a really long time, or Tails is going to get knocked out. This is usually not a fight that I have trouble with. So you can see Tails is doing like 1 damage. Yeah, this is gonna be like a retry here. Right in the beginning of the game, which sucks. If he keeps doing Crusher, Tails might be able to pull this off. But sadly, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to attack Tails eventually. Oh man. Come on, Tails. Yeah, there he goes. Well, that is not a thing that happens really ever. Let's try it again. That is, actually, that makes me very sad. That means I'm gonna have to get a few more items a little bit later on. No big deal. And now I'm dropping inputs too. Oh jeez, everyone's just whipping now. Okay, I'm just gonna continue like normal. Let's do a fastball on this guy. And get some damage on this guy. At least he didn't evade this time. So let's knock him out. Try to knock out this other guy, and then just melee. Oh jeez, that buzzsaw did a lot of damage. Please attack Tails. Okay, Crusher is good. That's fine. I would rather have not taken damage. Please attack anyone but Amy and Sonic. That was a good choice. A great choice, Swapbot. Okay, we got him this time. That was a very painful Chapter 1. Also, it's important to boost Amy's speed with her bonus points. That becomes really important a little bit later on in the run. Yeah, so whipping is quite common in the beginning of the game because your attack stat is really, really low. Also, the reason I didn't knock out that SWAT bot is because there's a very annoying enemy mechanic that you have to deal with the first 3 chapters of this game called self-repair. And enemies that have self-repair, if they're not the last enemy to go down, then they will get right back up and get a percentage of their health back. Which makes one of the boss fights in a couple chapters pretty scary. Yeah, a good 4 minutes behind usual. Okay, so now we're gonna start in with the puzzles. Chapter 2 has 3 puzzles. Most of the chapters only have 1. For some reason they decided to overload this one. So we're just gonna have these 2 step on these switches, and then Rouge is gonna hop around the corner here. He's gonna get set in position, and Sonic's gonna go up here and press this button. It's gonna swing this pipe into, or it's gonna swing the crane into position. Rouge is gonna hook it up, and then Sonic's gonna finish it off. And you may have noticed the enemy or the characters having field abilities. This is called a speed zone here. Only hedgehogs can move down speed zones. Blue Bomber there. And then we're gonna take Jewel Storm here. And this is gonna be the first time we really start dodging encounters. So I need to hold right on the touchscreen to move Sonic up to this corner. Switch to Rouge, fly over. And it's gonna set these wasps in a position where I can just dodge them. And that's a lot of your time loss gain in this run in general. Is how well can you dodge these encounters? You get the fleeting sequence, you just tap the characters, they jump over the boxes, you hit the accelerators, and then once that bar on the second screen hits the top, You're out of there. Okay, now I'm gonna start gathering chow eggs. And what I'm really looking for, as far as chows go, are water and fire elements. Because that makes the game, well, a lot easier. Okay, I'm gonna take the slow cycle here. You gotta jump down when that guy's about where that spring is. I guess we're gonna run away from him. It's fine, these guys usually don't ambush. Must have been like a pixel or two off. But these guys basically won't even catch you, so it's fine. Okay, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of Chapter 2. We're going into all these little satellite Eggman bases, because the main villains of the game, the Marauders, have kidnapped Knuckles, and we're on the lookout for him. So he's in their main base, and we just need to find all these communicators. They're using old Eggman tech to find their main base. Okay. So, since Sonic is faster than Amy, Sonic has to offset his moves. He gets 3 moves allocated, you can see. So he has to offset one of those to actually get powered up to attack. We should knock these guys out both in the same round. 2 blue bombers. And we're gonna do this 3 more times. Oh, okay. I whiffed a hit. So this guy's gonna get up. It's not really a big deal though. So we'll just defend here. Should knock him out. There we go. That was a good rebound fight. So we're gonna keep buffing defense with tails. And since I used a few more items in the first boss fight, I'm gonna grab actually probably all 4 of these item crates. 1 for each base. Okay, and again, maybe I can avoid this guy this time. Nope, coming over. Oh, that happens too. If your stylus is too far into the bottom left, you will actually pop the menu open. Actually escaped. You know, I'm actually gonna go in here and get the item box too. Just so I get another revival. Okay, so off to the other 3 bases. Another one's gonna be here in Central City, and then there are gonna be 2 more up in Green Hill Zone. So I'm gonna sneak in here real quick. We're gonna heal up everyone. And then go over here, grab this chow egg. So, only certain chow eggs, for whatever reason, give you a tutorial. And I'm gonna try to skip the rest that I'm gonna do by going to the chow garden. Okay. Yeah, Chapter 2 is pretty much the same for Central City, Green Hill, and only significantly changes when you get down to Mystic Ruin Zone. Yeah, this game didn't do very well, so I doubt they'll ever make another Sonic RPG. Okay, we got an ambush. I don't think I mentioned this, but the percentage of times you get ambushed and the percentage of times enemies ambushed you is all based on your luck stat. We set these other guys to defend just because we don't want to go through their attack animation. Save a few frames that way. So here we go, Blow Kiss. Blow Kiss sends Sonic into empowered state, so he starts doing more damage. And if this guy is not defending, which I don't think he is, should just knock him out. So, I should mention that there is no defend animation. You won't know an enemy is defending until you attack them and you realize that you're doing a lot less damage than you normally do. And this feels like it's going to be a run. So let's keep on getting the item crates. Also rings, because I used some rings on the retry for the first chapter boss fight. So sneak in here. Gonna go up to Green Hill Zone and repeat 2 more times. Yeah, the sound design is really weird, and it's kind of odd. Especially, I think it's in Blue Bomber. There's a sound effect of Sonic getting hit by spikes, which is usually like a negative sound effect, but it plays as a positive sound effect in this one. Okay, so the enemy is running away this time. So I just kind of want to do the opposite of what I do normally and just let them run away. The advantage to doing that is if they run away from you, they are removed from the map. So I have to pass over this area twice. Let's do a Chow check. Check. Ice damage is fine. Oh, fire damage. That's good for later on. So we got one good Chow. Just need a water Chow, or even an earth Chow. Okay, round 3 is swap bots. Again, same strategy. Let's just go ahead and use a health seed. And Blue Bomber, Slow Kiss, Sonic, defend, execute program. Okay, that's fine. As long as they don't hit Sonic with the Crusher. Alright, this guy's attacking. We know he's not defending. So here we go. Knock him out. Yeah, at this point you start doing so much damage that even if you're dropping input, it's fine. Then speed to Amy. We don't want to take any power moves now. I just want to store up those points. Okay, and now I'm going to go over to the last base. Oh. So it's actually fairly hard to get away from that drone on the way out. You have to be holding up left, but in a very specific spot to actually get away from those guys. Alright, second puzzle of Chapter 2. Also not very hard. Alright, so Tails moves slow in the overworld, so we just want to move him right there. Amy moves slightly faster, so we put her a little bit further away. And all you need is a flying character to go over here. Rouge is faster, so we move her there. And Sonic is fast, and all he has to do is jump across here. Easy peasy. I'm gonna store those points as well. These two. And I want to go down here and grab this Chow egg. And hopefully not get caught by these wasps. They were in a pretty good spot this time around. Alright, so I'm gonna talk to Cream over here, and that's gonna initiate a quest that I'm not gonna finish up until the next chapter. This guy, I wanna bait him around. Just so I can grab them. Of course, grabbing a few extra rings. Okay, so almost on the last part of Chapter 2. We just gotta go through here. I want to grab this Chow egg as well. And I do have to menu here because I need to give Tails a Power Candy. That way we can do Blue Bomber right off the bat. He needs at least 8 PP for that. And here we go. Same thing. And here. Fen. Yeah, and it really doesn't matter at this point who these guys attack, as long as they do something. Okay, so these guys are done. Also, the other good thing about Blue Bomber is it imparts weakness status to enemies, which is kind of that green and red haze you'll see above them. So it makes them do less damage when they attack you. Okay, more defense for Tails. We'll buy that scan too. And now that we have all the communicators, we're going to head down to Mystic Ruins. Also, this is probably the only mandatory fight in the game. So when these enemies spawn into the map, they spawn directly in front of this door. So you have no choice. You can't get away from them at all. I think even the TAS runs into these guys. At least they're running away from us, right? That'll teach them. Okay, so just gotta dodge these armadillos. Hello, armadillos. Hello, warthogs. I dodged the armadillos. So that was definitely my goal there. Goal achieved. Unfortunately, I did get an encounter. We're catching up. I still have to dodge the armadillos. Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm just gonna go around the other way. Yeah, some of these encounters, if you wait too long, if you just don't run in there and get past them, it takes a little bit longer and it gets a bit tricky. Okay, so I gotta go down this road here. We're gonna talk to a gun soldier. The gun soldier is gonna say that we can get to Mystic Ruin. We can get around the guards down there. So, what are our options? Well, we'll figure that out when we go back to Tails' workshop. Right up here. So we're gonna have a conversation about flying. And when we go out, that spawns a tornado onto the map. So we can just use that, fly down the Mystic Ruin. And then we get the pinch hitter of the game, who, when he shines, he kind of shines. He also has probably the best sound effect in the game when he comes out here in a second. For it. It is. Twice, just for good measure. Alright, so Big is going to join us. And Big has a field ability that no other character has besides, well, one optional one that we don't get in this run. We want to buy that Froggy Rain, that comes in handy. So he has invulnerability, so he's able to just walk through this gas. Then I'm going to switch to Tails, because after this puzzle, it's going to switch you to whatever character you went into the puzzle with. And again, this one's kind of simple. Just set Sonic up right here, and 3 characters are going to step on 3 switches. So Big's going to be here. Tails, he moves a little bit slower too, so there. And then Amy's gonna go the furthest distance down here. So, we're just gonna grab this little item and pretty much just swap it over here. But Amy needs to switch switches, right? So she's gonna go from left to right, pop this up. Sonic's just gonna drop it there, and then we have Big walk as far as he possibly can. Bring up his speed. Froggy Rain level 2. Speed for her. Low Kiss level 2. Also a necessity. And look, we're Tails. Swap the Sonic to go a little bit faster on the overworld. And there's just one more encounter I need to dodge for Chapter 2. Guy right here. Okay. And we came all this way to save Knuckles, who was just trapped in this closet. But, yeah. Apparently we didn't need to. So he just punches out these SWAT bots and saves himself. Because Knuckles. We get these actually pretty cool cutscenes. We see Angel Island moving over Metropolis. We're gonna visit both those places pretty soon. Alright, and now the party is gonna be Knuckles, Big, and Tails. We're gonna leave Amy behind for this one. Wake Punch? Fairly important. Alright, so Chapter 3 is going to start with us going to some of the locations we've already been to, some of the Eggman hideouts. So the closest one is up here. I have to dodge these guys again. Hopefully I can do it. It's not very hard. You just get there, and then we run here. And you have to take a specific dialogue option here. So, we have to tell him that he's completed his duties and he's free. That way he gives up the Eggman device without a fight. Let's get out of there. That's the last time we're gonna see that little corner. And also I'm gonna do my first shopping trip here. So we get really salty in this run. Yeah, because of this. So we have to buy some rock salts. Actually had just enough. So you only need 7, but I like to buy a backup just in case anything goes wrong. And then here we start another quest. So this guy got his prize stapler. His prize stapler stolen. And we're gonna give the guy that stole it a stern talking to. But not yet. Right now, we're gonna head down to Mystic Ruin Zone. And I'm gonna fly there, because if you run there, you actually get a cutscene where Shadow kinda rolls you over. So we're just gonna skip over that. And I like to trigger this cutscene immediately. That way I don't have to worry about it on the way back. Because I have to dodge that guy. And again, we're gonna go down here, where the Chapter 2 puzzle was, and we're actually gonna have an encounter with Shadow. And he makes like a weird mermaid noise. So we have to take option 1, and then option 2. Otherwise, you get into a fight with Shadow, and that fight takes a lot of resources, and it kills a lot of time. It's quite a bit more difficult than the SWAT bot fight you would get into. Okay, now I have to do some dodging. I kind of want to bait this guy up here, down here. It's actually very important that you dodge that guy. I have to dodge him on the way out too. And hopefully I can get inside this menu. There we go. I should do a chow check as well, but we'll wait on that. So we want to equip Lucky Gloves to this guy, and then Speedy Sneakers to Sonic. Boxing Glove to Sonic, Economizer to Sonic. That brings your POW moves down by 1 point. So he can get 3 blue bombers in there instead of just 2. So, I'm going to throw a Rock Salt to the man Big. He's kind of the star of the show here. Quake Punch, we're going to defend, and then Froggy Rain. Quake Punch is fairly important because you can steal turns, so to speak. The less enemies are moving, the more time you're going to gain. And Quake Punch has the potential to put the entire enemy party to sleep. So I'm going to drop some of the inputs on purpose here. So we're going to hit 1. Oh, okay. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. I don't think it's really all that bad, though. We're just doing more damage than normal. Yeah, and these guys get back up with 9, so it's not really all that bad. Okay, so I did forget something. So I'm actually just gonna defend this round here. So what I normally do is have Knuckles, instead of defending, give a POW Candy to Big. That way he's ready to go on the Froggy Rain for the next round. But I'll just do it here. And we'll just defend with everyone else. And Froggy Rain, Froggy Rain. Don't miss the action. These guys have self-repair, by the way. That's why you have to knock all of them out at the same time. As you saw. Like the first 2 just got right back up. Alrighty, so I gotta do the harder dodge for these guys right out here. So I like to stay put and just move along like that. So if you get caught by those Robo-Dillos, you get trapped. And this game has no soft reset, so you either have to go all the way back to the home menu, or you just have to fight it out with them. Okay, so this guy, we're just gonna give a stern talking to. Get the prize stapler. And then we're gonna actually complete this cream quest. So we just gotta get Cheese back, and Cheese is right up here. Gives us 500 XP. And take this Blue Bomber too, that's very important. And also take Uppercut, which is mildly important. And actually, I'm going to do a Chow check here. Let's see who we got. So, resistant wind damage, fire damage. I already had that one. Ice damage. Let's see. None of these are all that great. So, fire damage is going to go to Sonic. Let's figure this out. These chows are, like, randomized, by the way. And we're gonna equip that to Tails. None of these are all that great. Don't have a water chow, but I do have, like, one more chance, I think, to get one. Anywho. I'm gonna go fight the scorpions in this cave. There's a little boy we need to rescue in here. I'm just equipping that fire chow because these scorpions are weak to fire. Like a 25%, I think. And I don't think I need to Rock Salt Sonic because he has that extra damage, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it anyway. And then Quake Punch, try to steal some turns, defend, defend. There we go. Got one of them, so saving a little bit of time here. And Tail Blast is always nice. It's a little bit faster than their normal attack, which kind of takes forever. Their normal attack hits for like, I don't know, could be around like 25 to 30, and it hits you twice, so it's kind of significant at this junction. And pretty much all we're gonna do here is blue bomber both these guys. That guy has weakness status, and he's stunned, which, well, I don't know, it doesn't really make a difference here. We're gonna uppercut that guy, defend. So we're gonna get rid of this first scorpion, and should get rid of the second scorpion as well, the same round. There we go. So, you need to take that second dialogue option at the end. If not, then Sonic puts this kid in his pocket, and we get a cutscene that wastes about 10 seconds or so. But right now, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna grab Cream. Cream's gonna join the party. Cream is actually kind of an overpowered character. We're gonna swap out Big. So Cream has this move here called Refresh that boosts up everyone's POW points, including her own. You know what? I'm actually gonna grab this other Chow egg up here for another chance at getting a water Chow. I usually don't go up to get this one. Anyway, so, slight detour. Now we're just gonna finish out the chapter. And this chapter has a very scary boss fight. Especially with no water Chow. So all I need to do to finish is go back here, give this guy his prize stapler. He's gonna give us the last Eggman device. And we're gonna go to Eggman's main base, where he's kinda hiding out. We got all 6. Once we have all 6 together, it's gonna drop the barrier in Green Hill Zone. So we're just gonna run right back up there. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about the boss fight. So the boss fight, it's 3 Mark II SWAT bots. So they have more health. They do more damage. And you have to knock them all out at the same time. So it can get pretty hairy. If you have a water Chow, it makes it a 2-round fight. Because Blue Bomber pretty much brings him down to like single digit health, and then Knuckles can finish him off the Quake Punch. First we have to fight these drones. These guys aren't really all that bad. So I think the Fire Chow is going to reduce my damage here. Cream's going to refresh. I want to say all robots are resistant to fire. But we'll see. Yeah. Doesn't matter too much for these guys. Oh, look at that. That guy's evading. So, full refresh of the party for PP, including her. So she can just keep doing that as long as you hit the action. Okay, no turn stolen. That's quite alright though. The only turn you can really steal in this fight is... Okay, there's a guy on the end. So we're gonna go a little bit longer. It's not gonna be too bad though. I am gonna have to take a longer menu. And 2 blue bombers should take care of these guys. So normally I just have Cream Refresh, and that reduces the amount of time that you have to spend in the menu. Oh, this guy's evading again. He just likes to do that, apparently now. So this is gonna whiff completely, even if I get a perfect action here. And these guys are really turning it on now. Okay, let's go ahead and keep attacking then. These guys have really high defense, so this could take a little while. But look at that, Tails and Knuckles to the rescue. Alrighty. I need to chow check, but we'll do that here in a second. Need to make sure everyone is healed up for this all the way. Also with POW points as well. Okay, still got some POW gum. Good. And then I'll do a chow check. And hopefully we nabbed a... something useful. Right, let's see. Nothing super useful here. Unfortunately. We are gonna take that guy off of Sonic, though. See, we'll put that one on Cream, and then we'll put Cheese on Sonic, because you can do that in this game. We'll put that one on Knuckles. And this is the first time I really like to save in the run, because these guys are going to be harsh, and we're gonna feel the full fury here. So, this fight is probably the scariest in the game, and is one of the major RNG swings. So, let's see, we're going to start out with the Rock Salt and Knuckles. We're going to Blue Bomber these first two guys. Knuckles, of course, is going to try to steal some turns. And then Cream is going to give a Rock Salt to Sonic. That way it stacks correctly. Oh, look at that. Knuckles to the rescue. That is the best possible thing that could have happened here. That makes this boss fight a lot less scary. And that's why we love Knuckles. Just stun the entire party. Oh, Knuckles. And those guys have weakness status on, too. I'm gonna defend after that, and then I'm gonna uppercut here, defend, and then we're gonna refresh. Again, you want to get these guys' life nice and even. Oh wow, okay, he did a little bit more damage, so that guy's gonna get up. It's not gonna matter too much though. And we get a full refresh, and now we're kind of up over the hill, so to speak, for this fight. Now I'm just gonna Blue Bomber this guy, gonna Blue Bomber this guy, and then we're gonna attack this guy. Okay, this should end the fight here. And he's not defending, so yeah, we just won. With no water chow. I'm still gonna continue to collect chow eggs, though. Just because it's kind of useful towards the end of the game as well. Oh man, that went exceedingly well. And here comes Eggman. So, he was assumed dead, but obviously that's a lie. We go into Chapter 4, and I like to save at the beginning of Chapter 4. Just because I tend to make mistakes. Want these guys. Again, speed on Amy. No POW move here. One thing I forgot to do is talk to Tails here. So we actually need to talk to him to spawn the tornado back onto the map. And then we party up. More time. Okay, so we're gonna get away from this initial region of the Mystic Ruin, Central City, Green Hill Zone, and now we're gonna go up to Blue Ridge Zone. And this actually is one of the tracks in the game that I kinda like. Especially after the high pressure situation of Chapter 3. I'm gonna take a save here. Just so I have a back break. There's also a soft lock that can happen here. So, just another reason to save. First I'm gonna talk to this guy, because he initiates a side quest that, well, it gives you a lot more XP than really any other side quest around here. It's like 500, the rest are like 10 or something in XP. But we're gonna go 2 rounds with Shadow. And this is normal, he usually ambushes. So he's gonna get a turn before us, I think. And just use a throwaway item, 2 blue bombers to him, and then Amy's gonna blow another kiss in Sonic's direction. And this ought to take him out. You actually don't have to reduce his life to 0 here. Just have to get him down to 75. So 1, 2, and he's on weakness status here. Really good. Okay, and this will take him out. 1, 2. And this is the first 2-part battle. And Sonic actually has to fight alone, so it's important that I take that solo power move. If you don't take Axe Kick there, you're kinda dead in the water. Because, well, Shadow will counter you pretty much anytime you try to attack him normally. But he can't counter you if you hit him with a power move. Also, you have to catch him first. So, I don't have to do anything here besides Axe Kick. I'm gonna do it a 3rd time. The first 2 should take him out. But, just in case I drop any inputs. Get it right back into it. There we go. And they missed an opportunity for, like, maximum meme here. So, unfortunately, Shadow doesn't have any guns. Which would have been great to see in this game. And we do get him as a party member, so... he wants to go find Omega up in Metropolis. This is the only way into Metropolis. And since Sonic's party is headed that way, he's gonna tag along. And just talk to this guy just to close out the side quest. So we have to tell that guy not to go into the power plant, and then run right back over here. And talk to this guy. Gonna finish it up. Gonna get some more XP. Okay, so we pretty much just run to the end of this zone. And really all the enemies here are pretty easy to dodge. There's one coming up that gets kind of sketchy, and he's right here. And he caught me. So these Raptor Hawks are really fast, and they're gonna ambush you pretty much every time. And a whiff. Oh, 2 whiffs. Look at that. You have to get pretty much all the way against the right side of the screen there to actually even get away from them. And being fairly fast, they're going to be more or less right behind you in this fleeing sequence. So you can really only miss like 1 or 2 of those boxes. And just run past this guy. And then just run straight in past this guy as well. And you want to make sure that your Y position isn't too far down here. Otherwise, you're going to encounter a soft lock where the boss fight never actually triggers. But if you're in the middle of the road, that's fine. So now we're gonna fight one of the leaders of the Marauders. And she's gonna reveal herself as a Echidna, which is a surprise to Knuckles because, well, you know, he thought he was the last Echidna. Okay, so we're gonna start off. Sonic's gonna attack. Actually, no, Sonic's gonna give a Rock Salt to Shadow, power him up, and then he's gonna attack. And then we're gonna do Atomic Strike. Okay, I forgot something here. Maybe? No. Okay, it's fine. So we're just gonna defend, and then quick punch. Try to steal their turns. So, Atomic Strike is really good, because Marauders have a 10% weakness to electricity, and Shadow just happens to have this move that hits the entire party, and has the electric element. So he can do massive damage. He didn't put her to sleep. That's fine. We ought to get her this turn. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, she stole some power points from Sonic. I actually forgot about that until just now. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go into backup strats, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna Power Gum to Sonic, defend, and I'm gonna use Scan on her. So, Marauders also have this leech mechanic. Anytime they hit you, they take power points, and they take health. So we're gonna have Knuckles be a control on that. And then Scan is gonna give her vulnerability status, so it's gonna allow us to do more damage to her. Alright, so here's kind of some of the wonkiness in the game. So you want to have party members in a certain order. Okay, she's doing Blade Rush. I can actually cancel this out. If I didn't, Sonic would have been dead. Alright, so whoever's initiating the co-op power move, in this case it's Shadow, you generally want them to be first in the party. That way they can initiate the move, and then the second character can just do whatever. Unfortunately, Sonic is always locked to the top slot of the party anytime he's in the party. So it reverses those slots. And if that ever happens, then the character that's not initiating the attack actually has to attack for the other character to actually do the power move. Very annoying. And it takes some of the flexibility out of the battle system, I think, just having Sonic always in the top slot there. But we got out of that boss fight with, you know, we didn't get beat up too much, didn't lose too much time. Marauders have this ability to phase, which is kind of like evade, except worse, because they can just totally opt out of damage. Also, this is probably the hardest puzzle in the game. So we're gonna get these completely randomized images up here, and you have to look at them and determine, you know, what is this? What is this a combination of? And then we get 2, we get 3, and then we get 4. Now, I've made a chart that kind of has most of the possibilities, but sometimes it can hit you with one that you've never seen before. So this one is 6 as well. That is... Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Maybe that's just wrong. So yeah, this puzzle can potentially make or break your run, which is really unfortunate. And what is this one? This is 1 and 3. Okay, so we have our second round, another combination here. This is pretty much the same one, right? No? It's not. This is 2, 3, and 6. 3, and we'll move them over to 6. Okay, so I think I have this one. Let's go take a look at it. I do. This is 1, 2, 4, and 5. 2, 4, and if I can ever select Shadow, go to switch 5. Yeah, this puzzle is quite the challenge if you just play in this game casually. Okay, we don't want to take a pow move there. But I spent hours upon hours actually trying to sort out every single possibility. And as you can see, I still don't have all of them there. And even with the ones I do have, there are still some gaps. Okay, so to start here, we need to talk to Knuckles. And then talk to Tails. And this chapter is kind of cool. It's the first one where you actually split the party into 2. So we're going to have 8 members here. And we want Shadow and Amy to go here. We want Big and Rouge to go here. No Pow. Want Jewel Storm here. That's a hot backup in case the regular strat fails. Eggman, we want to boost his luck. Eggman is pretty much the star of the show for kind of like the first half of this chapter. And a lot of your time loss gain here is gonna be from dodging enemies. I'll take this early so it hatches. So Sonic's goal here is to kind of commandeer a Marauder airship to get to Angel Island. And Eggman's goal, or Tails' goal, is to construct this non-lethal weapon to teleport the Marauders wherever. It's not here. There's something pretty cool you can do here. Kind of get their attention. Okay, I managed to get away from that, and it didn't happen. You can actually break enemy pathing. You can do it really anywhere in the game, but it's like the most prevalent here. Yeah, there's also a soft block in this chapter as well. I've personally never encountered that one. I've only encountered the chapter 4. So I'm not entirely sure where the soft block is in this chapter. So we want to switch to Knuckles here, and kind of follow this guy, so to speak, over here. That way you don't get the Tony counter. Okay, so for that non-lethal weapon, there are 3 parts that we have to gather. So we got the first part. Going to get the second part right now. But there is a puzzle in between the first and second. I'm gonna dodge these guys. So I'm left-handed, and my hand kind of takes up the left side of the screen. So I tend not to dodge guys that come screaming out of the left side of the screen like that. Okay, so this is kind of just a Simon Says memory puzzle here. And we want to get all our characters set in position. I usually have these characters on these specific switches. So I put Eggman there, and then Rouge is really the only one. Well, I guess Tails can be over there as well, but I just like Rouge up there in that red switch. And then Big Blue is going to go to the blue switch. And then we're going to start it off. Yellow, yellow, red, yellow. Yellow, blue, yellow, red. Yellow, yellow, blue, red, yellow. Yellow? I'm gonna fail here. Last one. I looked away from my screen on the last one. Alright, let's try it again. Yellow, red, blue, blue. Yellow, blue, 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 yellow. Red, blue, red, 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 yellow. There we go. Don't have to go up there just yet. And buy scan 3 as a backup. It's good we landed on Eggman the last one. But that saves a little bit of time. You're just gonna regroup. If you haven't noticed already, you just regroup on the last character that takes an action in the puzzle. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over here and grab the second weapon part. And go up here so this guy kinda doesn't notice me. He just totally noticed me. Go, go, shoot! Okay, there it is. So his path is broken. As you can see, he's like going out of bounds there. Alright, weapon part 2. And we want to take the orbital bombardment with Eggman. And try to get away from this guy. Ah, he got me. There's some pretty hard enemy dodges in this chapter. I think this chapter and chapter 7 are probably the worst. So I used to take an item called Spooky Charm along that really highly increases your chances, or the chances that the enemy party will run away from you. Grab that on the way. And fly down here. And it's kind of hard to dodge this guy as well. He takes up so much space, and you have basically no room to maneuver there. So I usually end up running into this guy. I think I've only dodged him, like, I don't know, once or twice. Also, I did mention that each character has a different movement speed. I think they're in kind of tiers as far as movement speed goes on the overworld. So the only reason Rouge is in this party is because she moves faster than the other 3 characters. If you were to take Cream, it would make it, I don't know, mildly safer. But then the overworld movement speed would be really slow. Okay, so somehow Sonic managed to get onto this Marauder airship. And this guy has no idea what's coming. I forget exactly why Eggman is on your team at this point. To be quite honest. But I think it's because he wants to get rid of the Marauders as well. Okay, uppercut 2. Then here, important that we take Blow Kiss 3. Yeah, so we just beat that guy up. And now we have an airship. But unfortunately, the other Marauders on board just kind of dismantle the weapon system and the navigation system as well. And that'll be to be continued here. as we switch back over to Tails' party. Okay, now we have all 3 parts, and we're gonna go on towards the mini-boss. More dodging, more dodging. Yeah, you want to dodge him too, and then of course we want to do the harder dodge down in the tunnel. And this set up here. Oh, what are you doing? I've never seen him come over that far. Oh, there he goes. There he goes through the wall. Hey, I guess I just don't even have to worry about him. Okay, and now we're gonna go up this tower that we activated. Kind of position ourselves here. Wait, hold. Okay, I almost gotta fly over here. So once you reach the top of that tower, you can actually trigger the prompt on the other side, and then Rouge will just fly over that Marauder. But I haven't figured out exactly if it's like timing or positioning. Okay, so I have another hard dodge that I have to do. Hopefully I can get it. Then we're gonna fight the mini-boss. So, that move that I took with Eggman, Sabotage, it's a one-hit KO for robot enemies. It's a combo attack with him and Tails. It's kind of a harder action, and it does have a chance to fail. But if it's at level 2, it has a 90% chance to succeed. So I kind of boosted Eggman's luck up to increase those chances a little bit further. Okay, here we go. And I took Scan just because if Sabotage continues to fail, then I just kind of beat this guy up. Ooh, we got an ambush. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter with this team. I'm going against this enemy party. Because generally they miss. Okay, and as I mentioned before, you need to have the character that's not initiating the attack. Well, attack. We're gonna do Froggy Rain. Oh, look at that guy evading. Luckily, Froggy Rain is a no-miss move. But if an enemy's evading, it does reduce the damage. Okay, here we go. Sabotage. Here we go. One-hit KO. So all I have to do is clean up, which Eggman can do himself. So just defend, and then bombardment. Defend, defend. This guy is evading again, so this might not get him. Oh, just enough. So yeah, this is where Eggman really shines, as you can see. Froggy Rain level 3 is something we want, and it doesn't matter with Rouge at this point. We won't be using her again. So we activate this, actually, lethal cannon, to try to clear out some of the Marauder shit from this guy. Help out Sonic up there. And to be continued on that one. And it looks like Sonic has crash landed on Angel Island. So, this part of the chapter is kind of significant because this is where we actually have the first encounter with the main antagonist of the game, Brandon X. Go down here and grab those sparkly gloves. You can do a bit more damage with those, and try to dodge some of these sparkly guys. Ah. I usually end up getting caught by all three of the Marauders down this little stretch. And these guys are fairly fast, too. So you can run into too many of these places. Try to dodge this guy? Nope, but he's gonna come straight for me. So, what, that's 2 for 2 now. Probably gonna be 3 for 3 because the last guy is the hardest to dodge. Yeah, it does kind of look like Looney Tunes or something, right? When they're running away. I never thought about it like that. You want to lure this guy a little bit further away. Oh, I got away from him. Oh, I got away from that guy too. Go me. Look at that. Okay. Speed zone, so we need a hedgehog. Now I'm gonna do a challenge check and a menu. Oh look, maximum PP. I could have used that one earlier. Okay, fire damage. I'm actually gonna equip that to hold panels for Shadow here. Nothing else is really all that useful except for the maximum PP. Go ahead and give that to Sonic. Okay, now just do our regular menu here. So you want to have everyone fairly good health, but mostly you want to have them at max PP. It looks like everyone is pretty much good. So we're going to go ahead and give these sparkly gloves to Shadow. Give the economizer to Shadow too. And that should be it. So, just like any good main villain, Imperator X is gonna throw waves of his lackeys at us before he actually comes to fight us himself. So we're gonna have Sonic attack. Knuckles try to steal some turns. And then all he's gonna do, well, let's see what just happened here. Oh, okay. So Sonic doesn't have max PP. It looks like I forgot about him. So this is usually a 1-round fight. It's gonna be a 2-rounder now. Just overlooked Sonic. Phase. That's good. They can get that out of their system. You gotta remember that phase means they can totally opt out of damage. Oh my god, these guys are phasing so much right now. It's crazy. Alright, and now we go with the regular game plan. Atomic Strike, and then just gonna defend, so slightly modify the strats. These guys do have a weakness to fire as well. Oh, these guys, man. Look at that. Alright, so... I guess we're just going full in on this fight, then. Oh man, this guy phased again. Okay. Yes, please do something else. Don't phase. Thank you. Jeez. He phased. Why didn't he listen? Knuckles, please put these guys to sleep. Knuckles, that's not putting him to sleep. I probably could have just killed these guys with regular attacks by now. Jeez. I've never seen these guys phase so much. It's actually kind of insane. Let's just go ahead and take these guys out one by one then. Maybe. This is usually a one-round fight, by the way. It figures the character with the fire chow on is not dealing any damage whatsoever. Alright, I'm gonna Atomic Strike here, and hopefully he doesn't phase out. We're gonna move right away. Yeah, so no matter what you do, I think even if you have a can't miss POW attack, if those guys phase, it's just gonna whiff on them. It's so much worse than evade. Okay, and Atomic Strike 3, that is the thing that we want. Okay, so one last thing I have to do with Tails' party. We're gonna switch to Rouge here. Avoid this guy. I'm actually gonna grab the Chow down here this time. I usually don't. And just do a few more enemy dodges. We're good. Okay, that was a hard one, and this is the one. Just gotta go back to the HQ. And then Eggman is gonna do his thing inside. And once he does that, we're gonna teleport up to Angel Island. Come reinforcements. To be continued on that. And look, we're gonna fight more lackeys. These guys are slightly stronger. Oh, and look, we can act right away this time. I'm just gonna have him defend. We're gonna do 2 Atomic Strikes. Let's go ahead and redo that. And let's see, I'm just gonna have him use Clover Juice, another throwaway item. And then power up. And these guys are gonna do their thing, which doesn't matter too much, honestly. These guys tend not to phase as much as the first group does. These guys are slightly more aggressive. Okay. So we're gonna get him up to Empowered 3. Damage output is gonna go way up, especially with that Fire Chow. And maybe we'll take these guys out and... well, not now. Well, there you go. You can still drop an input and get that. Okay. So, now that we've defeated all his lackeys, Rex is gonna come at us himself. But not before Tails' party teleports up. So now we're gonna be joined by these guys, but we're really just gonna take the same characters: Shadow, Knuckles, Amy. Alright, so I do want to get a Rock Salt over to Shadow. Gonna attack Imperator X because, well, you have to. That's right. Yeah, and then attack. And then Shadow has to offset himself. And then Atomic Strike. Bend, and Bloat Kiss seals the deal. Oh, jeez. So, the reason for some of these weird strats I did talk about this a little bit earlier, but each character has a certain amount of actions assigned to them at the beginning of the turn. So you can see that the hedgehogs pretty much, well, except for Amy, they get 3 turns, or 3 actions rather. Unfortunately in this game, if you attack or defend, it takes up all your remaining slots. This guy never does Dark Anomaly. If you do a power move or use an item, it only takes up 1 slot. So you do have to do some weird offsetting things. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't call his guys back. I'm just gonna do another Atomic Strike just to be sure, and then we're gonna uppercut with Knuckles, and just defend. And we're gonna take him out. It's probably one of the best moves in the game, this Atomic Strike. It's so useful. Oh, we got a Rock Salt. Prize I barely ever see. Okay, so that's the end of Chapter 5. And we're gonna get kind of a big lore dump here. So, Imperator X's goal, at least what he told his minions, was that he was gonna go to Sonic's world, collect the Chaos Emeralds, grab the Master Emerald, and he was gonna return the Nocturnus, who is a rival clan to Knuckles' clan of Echidnas. He was gonna return them to Sonic's world. Unfortunately, he's a villain and he's lying. So, but his real goal was really, you know, just to conquer Sonic's world. And his own dimension as well. So, he steals a Master Emerald, Angel Island crashes down into Metropolis Zone, and then he scurries along and he goes back to his dimension called the Twilight Cage, which is where the Nocturnus disappeared to. And now we're gonna get Shade. So, after realizing that that was his goal, she decided to turn against him. We don't want to increase Shade's speed, because we want Amy to be faster. Now we have the correct party to finish Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is a short one, but there can be an RNG swing here depending on what the boss of the chapter wants to do. So the boss is Eggbot, and he's going to be coming up here really soon. And he has a machine gun attack, which he can just do at will, that can totally just kill a character. So if he wants to, he can just keep doing it and kill your entire party. And he can also ambush you, so, well, he can really just kill you without getting the chance to fight back against him. So, you gotta upgrade the Tornado and fly through dimensions. And that's what we're doing here. But first we gotta get inside the Hazard Vault. That's where we're gonna fight Eggbot. To get inside the Hazard Vault, you gotta activate these things generations. And then we get a part to upgrade the Tornado. It's a little hard to get away from these guys. It's actually quite hard to dodge all three of the last encounters in this chapter. This guy, and then there's 2 ahead. They're the drones at the top of this incline. And then there's a guy inside he's almost impossible to dodge. Like, I don't even try, I just run straight into him. These guys, you have to dodge on the way in and on the way out. I did neither. So we're just gonna run away like normal, and I'm probably gonna end up running away from the other 2 encounters as well. So yeah, your major time loss gain in this chapter is really just whatever Eggbot decides to do. Yeah, so to dodge these guys, you have to like run up onto that ramp, and then it triggers a cutscene where they just kind of float over you. But the timing on it is very, very tight. Yeah, if the sound design was a little bit better, this game would be a bit more bearable. Okay, so we want to do a quick child check. And quick swap of equipment. I actually do want to equip that to someone. I think Shade doesn't have anything equipped to her at this point. Then we'll equip Cheese. Boost the luck as much as possible so Eggbot doesn't bum rush us. Then Sparkly Gloves and Economizer go to her. That's about it. So Shade and Shadow will swap equipment a few times. They're pretty much the main strikers in the latter half of the game. So Shade has an ability called Echidna Rush, which is her power move combination with Knuckles, that just totally ignores armor. And if you remember me talking about armor way back in the beginning of the game, armor actually governs how much damage you deal. This move has a pretty good damage multiplier and just totally ignores that. And hits 3 times. So we didn't get ambushed. It's a really good start. I'm gonna fastball this guy. Attack here. Gonna hit in the rush. Twice. And then we can still blow kiss here. Okay, so Eggbot is kind of the opposite of a lot of other bosses. A lot of other bosses will just call their minions back, but Eggbot has self-repair, so he's actually completely the opposite. He's actually gonna get back up here. I think Echidna Rush hits right after. I could have fastballed both of them. Oh well. We'll just sit through this attack animation. And I'll just do the old X kick on the drone. Yeah, so you're about to see Eggbot get back up. But he only gets up to like 28 health, so he's not really a problem. And this should take him out. Yeah, since he's not evading or anything. Eggbot has been so kind to do Shocker pretty much every single time. Shocker can be a critical drop if you drop that input. Because as you can see, it will put a character to sleep. So this was a good chapter 6. I'm just gonna go over here, really just for more fodder to sell. Get a few more rings in the end. There's a couple really important items I have to buy. Oh, this guy. So, if you get that encounter too close to the boss zone, that guy will not be flashing when you come out, and he will try to chase you down just like that. But I got the dimensional buffer, another piece of Eggman tech. So Tails is gonna upgrade the tornado to the cyclone, and now it can fly through dimensions. We're also gonna leave Eggman behind here. Okay, so we want to take pretty much the crew here. Shade, Knuckles, and Amy are the crew, if you didn't know that. So we need Amy here for Pound 3. She's the only character in the game that gets that. And I kind of already used it on those purple boxes in Chapter 6, but you actually need it to proceed here. And then you want Shade and Knuckles for the Echidna Rush. And these guys, the Kron. So they have, I think, either the highest or the second highest armor rating in the game. But yeah, we're just gonna ignore that. And this is why you want Amy to be faster than Shade, because it turns all these fights into a one-round battle. That is, if you execute properly. I tend to drop Echidna Rush more often than not. I think when I played this game casually, it took me like maybe 30 minutes to get through both these fights. So you have to fight one Kron, and then you have to fight two. So I'm gonna go back to the HQ and then reload on health and power points, just because it's a little bit faster than fumbling around in the menu. Yeah, armor piercing is definitely overpowered in this game. And I kind of love it. So one for each, and then there. So at least the fights in Chapter 7 are consistent. Again, most of the time lost gain here, just like Chapter 5, comes from dodging enemies. How well can you do it, and how well can you bait them? Okay, so we're not going to be doing as much damage here. And again, there's going to be a small mistake that's going to cost a little bit of time. Because now both Shade and Knuckles need power points. So I'm going to provide that. Unfortunately, you have to go through one of these Kron, like, super slow attack moves. Alright. So just Echidna Rush him again. Everyone else defends. And here we go. Execute properly this time. So, depending on which input you drop there for the Echidna Rush, you can either do reduced damage or just totally whiff. It really doesn't matter which. Alright. Let's move on. So, there's no boss for this chapter. So yeah, it's pretty much just dodging encounters, or at least trying to. That guy is really hard because he takes up so much space, and because he's a giant rock. Yeah, and luckily you can just run away from them, and they're really, really slow. So their odds of catching you is, I don't know, 1% or something. So let's go with a number. I hate dodging this guy. A lot of times I get hung up on this bottom ramp, like I almost did there. And this guy is funny because he just walks in circles until you walk over to him. So you really just want to wait until he's at a certain point in his circling. Got a little too close there. Yeah, I was gonna get caught by that no matter what, since he was out in the middle. He's an encounter you gotta really get good at dodging, because you have to go past this area 4 times. So the main objective of this planet is to talk to the leader of the Kron, Foreman Crag, and there's some sort of barrier that they need to take down so they can advance on the Nocturnus. But first, I need to sell some stuff. Oh, that's why I picked up those rusty hydraulics, iron claws, and then you can kind of clear out your inventory here if you want. At least for a lot of non-essential stuff. You really only need like 200. Buy 2 earth rings. And I need to buy a couple of rock salts too. Now we'll do a challenge check. And not very useful here. But we do want to put that earth ring onto not Amy, but Sonic, and the other one onto Shade. The economizer really doesn't matter too much at this point. You can sell that if you want. So we just talked to him, and now we're headed to take down the barrier. So, second time I have to cross over this area. This guy does a circling thing. Oh, middle of the road means it's gonna catch me. So, 2 for 2 here. Hopefully I can dodge him on the return trip to this planet. Gotta dodge this guy down here again. Got that. And there are a few harder dodges on the other side of this puzzle that's coming up. So this puzzle. The gimmick is that none of the signs can be the same. So to solve it, you can really just put in an arbitrary combination, and then you just use Sonic to bash his head against whatever these hydraulic things are to see if you got the correct combination. So we'll do vertical slash and then plus sign equal sign. And for some reason, when you activate each switch, the camera has to pan over to that particular hydraulic. Or spring, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's see what we got. So, blue's wrong. Let's go ahead and swap that. Let's do equal sign, vertical slash, plus sign. So that's correct, that's correct. So the third one's correct. And now we're gonna see like a really goofy regroup here. Characters just magnetize the Sonic, throwing it all the way across the screen. This is a super hard dodge to do. I didn't get it. Okay, so there's an entire subplot in this game with these golden gizoids. And there's a character that's actually on this planet. And every time you defeat one of these golden gizoids, you get a piece of Nocturnus tech. And when you turn it into that guy, he gives you another piece of lore. But let's go ahead and finish this out. We're also going to start collecting the Chaos Emeralds starting from this planet. So this is actually the boss here. So just run up and hit this switch. And that's about it. So let's get going. A few more enemy dodges I have to do. So, Foreman Crag is so nice and kind, he says we can just go in and take this Chaos Emerald that he has. So that's number 1. This guy's pretty easy to dodge on the way out, too. The next guy is next to impossible to dodge. Oh, almost got it. Almost. Yeah, the overworld speed isn't very fast. And he's already running, so yeah. It's just kind of sluggish. Okay, 2 more dodges I have to do. That guy doesn't count. These guys usually get me. Ah. I should have went up. I bobbed and I should have weaved. Anywho. Let's just get away from this guy and then go on to chapter 8. While I smack my face into multiple boxes. Moving on. 2 more chapters left. So next we're gonna go to the Nagarl planet. I'm gonna need big here. I'd like to take these 2 so we don't get a long menu. So these guys absorb energy. And for that reason, it's very important that you're methodical about how you navigate this first set of text. Well, I guess the second set of text when these guys come up. If not, you will end up getting into a fight with these guys. That fight takes forever because whenever you hit them, well, you do a lot of damage, but then whenever they hit you, they're healed back to full. So it becomes a very, very long war of attrition. Luckily, you can take that 3rd dialogue option and just totally just leave them alone and skip all that. So the only goal here is just to talk to the Nagarl Queen. Yeah, so it's like N''Graal, I believe. is how you spell that. And it's Big's time to shine. I've gotten over there. Gotta wait for that guy. Alright, so it's the last time we'll be seeing the Big for a little while. Because to get the Chaos Emerald from those guys, we have to get the Chaos Emerald from this next planet. The Zoa. And again, these fights are fairly consistent on the Zoa planet. And your time loss gain is really just whatever they decide to do. Hopefully they do Lightning Shield, which is their fastest attack. So the strategy is really just the same as the Kron planet. These guys are no different. Except for... oh, we got a Lightning Shield. Except for their power moves. This Armor Blast doesn't really do much, but it takes forever. Yeah, greeted by combat. What a way to welcome someone to your planet. Well, these guys are like pretty hostile anyway. So I didn't drop anything. 1 round fight. Knock him out. And Quake Punch 3 is the thing I want. Okay, so the first thing to really do on this planet is to do a side quest that gives you a ridiculous amount of XP for whatever reason. They thought that was a good idea. I am gonna grab these, though. So, Curse Gloves, probably the best item in the game. It increases your power by 6, so your damage goes up by a ridiculous amount. And it also allows you to have a ring on. So you can have the power plus 6, plus the damage from the weakness. 25% weakness. So, there's a whole long side quest here about this guy who was pretty much scamming everyone to sell items from his shop. He's sending around this little holographic monster, but you can just beat it up here, and then you end up getting, I think it's like 3,000 XP from this one. So that's a little bit ridiculous. There's actually multiple ways you can navigate this planet. Also, you can get the Zoa, or no, what is it, the Kron Hammer, that increases your power plus 10. So that's the highest POW increasing item in the game, but it's not quite as good. Because if you have that Kron Hammer equipped, you can't equip a ring. So you actually end up losing damage. Okay, so again, this is the exact same thing. Actually take out the boss like this as well. And it gets kind of hard to actually execute that. Because, for whatever reason, they just had animations play on top of animations, play on top of animations. So there's actually a lot of stuff going on screen. It can be hard to tell when you're supposed to hit those prompts for a kidney rush. Important to take the axe kick 3 there. So I'm gonna go over to solve this puzzle. This puzzle is kind of dumb. So you have to add one number and subtract another. If the first two numbers add up to 10, then you automatically know the third number is subtracted. So it looks like we got 3 here. Alright, so I like to go in here because, well, you get another pair of Curse Gloves. And unfortunately, you can't dodge this guy since he takes up the entire length of the hallway. Going this way also gives you a Psychic Water, which is mildly useful later on. You can dodge this guy right here, so it's kind of tight. So I want to get to about here. I'll check. Earth damage is fine, I guess. Alright, so we really want to make sure everyone has max PAL here. And then Curse Gloves, we want to put a pair on Sonic. Sonic. And on Shade. Sparkly Gloves don't matter at this point. So, you're listening to the best track in the game right now. My personal favorite. So Shade is a character that was created in the comics leading up to this game. And she's kind of a significant character in this game. She was Imperator X's right hand. Imperator X is the main antagonist for this game. But once he revealed his true intention, she turned against him. Oh, we got an ambush in these guys. That almost never happens. It made no difference whatsoever because everyone just totally whiffed. Anyway, so we gotta use 2 items to offset here. I'll use prune juice. And then you gotta get this pile gum to Shade. And then Shade will do Kitten Rush twice. And Amy will blow Kiss. And her second move, she will get a pile gum to Knuckles. Wow, these guys. Nobody did Lightning Shield. That makes me sad a little bit on the inside. So this fight stacks correctly. We power up Shade, and she's gonna go in. Here goes the boss, by the way. Oh, we got 1 Lightning Shield. So, as you can see, Shade is doing stupid amounts of damage because of the armor piercing. So, the second round, all you have to do is defend with pretty much everyone except for Shade. And again, I think I can drop one of the inputs since she does so much damage. Like, 222 per hit is pretty hefty. Okay, so this is also a 2-round boss fight. Or a 2-parter. So Sonic has a solo fight here, which is why we need to take the axe kick through. So just block salt to this guy, then axe kick, supernova. I used to think that was the hardest move to dodge. Totally not. I'm actually really glad this guy isn't defending. He has a move where he can pretty much defend for like 2 rounds in a row and charge. So that extends this fight by another round or so. You don't do quite as much damage. Yeah, so characters get distributed certain amounts of actions. I think depending on what character type they are. And so Hedgehogs, I think only Shadow and Sonic get 3 actions per turn. So yeah, I have this somewhere. Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. So for some reason they have you party up again when you come back out to this the outside area here. Oh, this guy got me. Yeah, so Sonic and Shadow get 3 actions per turn. Amy and Knuckles get 2. Most characters get 2. They fall kind of right in the middle. Yeah, Amy, Tails, Knuckles, Shade, and Rouge all get 2. And Eggman, Cream, and Omega, they only get 1 because they're super slow. Omega really only needs one action per turn because he's a little bit overpowered. Okay, so to close out this one, we're gonna go on chapter 9. I'm just gotta go back to this planet, and it doesn't matter who you pick here, because the queen greets you right at the ship. We're just gonna pick up this Chaos Emerald. Yeah, that last character slot is for Omega. He's an optional character, but you do have to go fairly well out of your way in Metropolis to get him. And he's really not worth it as far as the speedrun's concerned. In casual play, yeah. Because he can do quite a bit of damage. He actually has the highest armor and power rating in the game. He also has a laser that has a ridiculously high damage multiplier that can leave an enemy in vulnerable status. So he can just do even more damage the next time he does it. Okay, so we need Knuckles and Amy here. This is probably the most annoying planet in the game. And we do need Shadow. So Shadow is the superstar on this planet. Not only can he take out the enemies fairly fast, he can also teleport, which is an ability we need to proceed. And here, I think the Voxai have a weakness to fire? If I'm not mistaken, 25%. Okay, so we're just gonna swap equipment here. And also Chow's. Where's that fire Chow? Earth damage, that's right. That's not what I'm looking for though. Where did I leave that fire Chow? Did he leave me somehow? Yeah, I'm gonna go through this again. Oh. Duh. So Shadow already had him equipped. Alright, so we start out on this planet, and well, nobody's hostile yet. This planet is being controlled by 3 entities that are collectively called the Overmind. They have pretty great psychic power. And this guy we're talking to is kind of the only guy that's outside their control. So we're gonna go talk to him. See what's going on, because we need the Chaos Emerald from this planet as well. And this planet's kind of poorly constructed. So if you take that teleporter that I took, instead of taking the speed zone ramp, we have to go all the way around this planet and come back to the beginning to actually proceed. Okay, so now Shadow is loaded for bear. He has all 3 of the weaknesses for the Voxai: fire, earth, and lightning. Also, as kind of an added touch of flavor, the Voxai, their luck is kind of astronomical, and so is their speed. So they're always going to ambush you to be, you know, psychic. And they're also always going to attack first. Do 2 of those, Quake Punch, and then Goat Kiss on Shadow this time. Yeah, so given that, these fights can be kind of dangerous, and you want to go into them at full health. Also, every time they attack you, they poison you, so even more damage. Which is why Quake Punch can come in really handy here. Also, Psychic Wave can be a critical drop, because it will stun a character if you drop it. This guy was looking straight at Shadow when he did that. So insane amounts of damage to the entire party is what Shadow is doing right now. I don't even know if the lightning element is counting. I only saw the earth and the fire pop up. Which are the only 2 I'm really worried about. Those are the biggest. Earth Earth and Fire are both like 25% weaknesses. Alright, so all the fights on this planet are pretty much the same. Oh, I didn't get past that guy. Okay, that's not too bad. I think I will heal Shadow, though. Because pretty much every character has a function on this planet. So I do not want any of the characters to get stunned. Except after a certain point. Or die. Dying's bad. Gonna throw a health root on him real quick. So this fight is pretty much the same, except he's a mini-boss, so he's a little bit stronger. We still get him in 2 turns if everything goes correctly. These guys don't get, well, too out of hand. So Sonic's a bit more essential in this fight, so I'm probably gonna end up healing him right off the bat. So we get a health leap over to him. Atomic Strike, Atomic Strike. Try to steal some turns. And then throw a kiss at Shadow. Oh good, Air Shield. Like, after Amy used that blow kiss, and Knuckles uses his Quake Punch, it's okay for them to kind of beat them up. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, it's targeting Knuckles. Yeah, that would have been a really bad drop if you had Shadow or Sonic. Yeah, so that guy in the middle, he's a mini-boss. He has the same attacks as the normal Box-Eye, except his power moves are a little bit longer. And he's doing it again. Still targeting Knuckles, so still good. Alright, this will take him out here. If all these guys beat up on one character, like specifically Shadow, they decide to kind of gang up on Shadow or Sonic, it can be a lot longer and a lot more painful. And you get so many power points with Amy to get other abilities, but none of her other abilities are really all that useful in the run. So you end up just stacking them up in the latter half of the game. Like once you get Blow Kiss 3, that's really all you need. Alrighty. So, the second part of the Box-Eye colony. Box-Eye Colony Alpha. This is where we actually need teleport. So I'm gonna switch off to Shadow immediately. Gonna go past here. You also need Flight. So that's another reason Knuckles is here. Don't really want to get caught by any of these guys. Ooh, and cut right down there. That's actually really tight. Okay. So, only 2 real things you have to do here. One is solve this puzzle. This puzzle gave me kind of a headache in casual play. But it's not really all that bad. So, I just have these guys go down here. And good RNG is getting 1 beep. Good RNG means you hit the button. That's bad RNG there. If you get 2 beeps, you just have to wait there and do nothing. And then there's a countdown in the middle. So, yeah. We're pretty much waiting around now. Oh, 2 beeps. Looks like we're going 2 beeps all the way down. Oh, man. That was terrible. And we get the full heal on him, and also Chaos Rift, which can be handy. You need to dodge this encounter up here. Isn't terribly hard. Unless you bring him all the way out there. Alright. Again, I do want to be sitting on full resources when I go into this fight. So this one's a little bit scary. So let's toss a couple of health seeds over to Sonic. And a POW drink. Looks like everyone else is pretty much good to go and got those level ups. Alright, Overmind. So what's funny about this fight is that the 2 on the ends, their POW moves are just broken. Like there's just a coding error there. Where they just don't work. The green guy and the blue guy. But the one you really have to worry about is the one in the middle. Okay, so I usually give a Rock Salt to Knuckles here, but I'm gonna heal Amy instead. And she got beat up pretty bad. Gonna defend, and then Quick Punch twice, healing those turns. We're gonna Blow Kiss, and we're gonna Blow Kiss again. So this is usually the reason I give a Rock Salt to Shadow, because they move immediately. But I don't really want Amy to die. Yeah, size slow. I can just drop all this. Then hit the last one so it speeds up. Man, I'm actually really glad I did heal her. Hey, at least we got one of those guys. Quick punch again. Hopefully it stunned somebody else. Didn't stun anyone. I guess Knuckles just stunned those SWAT bots in the beginning, and that was about it. He's been getting onesies and twosies ever since. But anyway, I'm just gonna Atomic Strike and fight here. So again, we're doing fire, lightning, and earth damage here. It's kind of an incredible damage stack. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the final chapter. I do need that Blue Bomber 3. And I can pretty much ignore all the rest of the moves for really every character. One thing I forgot to mention is that to come over to Boxeye Colony Alpha, the Overmind psychic power is so strong that our ally there, he gave us a Chaos Emerald that was charged up with psychic energy, so Sonic and party can resist their influence. Okay, chapter 10. We're almost done, guys. This chapter does take a little while, though. So I have to start off by going to the Kron planet again. And I guess I'm gonna hit that console again, so just look at the nice galaxy map there. Run with the same. Still leaving Shade's speed alone for the bonus point distribution. So yeah, we're back here again. Pretty much the exact same enemies in the exact same spots. And hopefully I can dodge him this time. This guy is still hard to dodge, even though he's a bit smaller. And one important thing I have to do is, well, menu when I get up to Foreman Crags area again. So what's happening now is kind of your classic BioWare. Everyone you met along the way comes up with a plan to take down the villains. Yeah, unfortunately, you do have to dodge all these encounters along the way. Can I do it? Can I get past this guy? I feel like I'm gonna go 0 for 4. Oh, got past him. He just ignored me. Okay, so last shopping trip. Gonna buy a couple psychic waters. That way the whole party is covered. And sell pretty much anything I don't need. Boxing gloves, sparkly gloves, economizer, and buy some meta emitters. That should be good. And then buy some refresher waves as well. So the meta emitters are really good because there are a couple scripted losses in this chapter. And meta emitters just do a lot of they give a lot of hit points back to the entire party all at once. Same thing with the refresher wave, but with PP. Okay. So I dodged him successfully half the times I've come to this planet. And luckily you can just shortcut back to the cyclone here. And we're gonna head to Nocturne, final area. So, before you go to Nocturne, there is like a classic BioWare love scene that can happen. But you have to have all positive responses to Amy throughout the game. It just wastes time here, so it's totally skipped. So they have a moment before they go to Nocturne. Yeah, so Sonic 3 and Knuckles final boss, but not quite Sonic 3 and Knuckles final boss. So this is what, bad remix number 20? Okay, so again, we split into two parties here. We want Shadow to go here, want Amy to go here, Big here, and then Cream on this team. And defense becomes fairly important. We want speed for Big. Fine too. So we're actually capping out on bonus point distribution here. That's good. Healing and revival as well. Okay, so there's a fairly annoying sound that's going to come up here. You know, it's a bit more annoying than all the other annoying sounds in the game. You heard it in Chapter 6. They decided to bring it back in Chapter 10, and there it is. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here is turn off that alarm, which, for some reason, they like putting their buttons out in the open here. Can't figure out why their security would be like that, where anyone can really just walk up to it and turn it off. So, Sonic's party is kinda on the disadvantage for this one. Oh my god, we're getting caught. I crashed into way too many boxes there. This guy is actually fairly hard to dodge, and it sucks because these guys get 2 actions per round, so you end up losing a lot of time if you run into them. Oh god, they're right behind me. Yeah, if running away was random, I don't know, you would just end up losing a lot of time. A ridiculous amount of time. Okay, now we're switching over to Knuckles' party, and I'm just gonna do a real quick equipment swap. I'll check to see if I did get a water chow, which I probably didn't. I got an earth chow though. That makes me sad, but that's kind of whatever. So we're just gonna swap Shadow's equipment back to Shade. Really all I need to do there. So Knuckles needs to cross this chasm. Unfortunately, there's like a big laser gun on the other side that's forbidding forward progress. So we're gonna switch back over to Sonic's side, take care of that. And again, this switch here, like, anybody can just walk up to it and turn it off. This one's even worse, because it's just, like, out in the open. Like, so much for security. This switch that apparently just blows up the laser gun is just out in the open. No guards, no nothing. Oh, I'm getting caught. Oh, I'm not getting caught. Way to go, Shadow. Okay, so this is the first scripted loss. So we fight these regular Gizoid Centurions, but they have this sparkly shield that prevents us from damaging them. Actually, no, I need to swap that Fire Chow as well. So all you do is defend here, because, well, at 3 rounds, automatically makes you lose. And usually these guys aren't too aggressive. They have a lot of power moves they can use, so they usually end up using those instead of just doing normal attacks, which hurt quite a bit. And then again. It's really great when these guys use immunity. You don't have to go through any of this. There we go. So this is the opposite of what happened in Chapter 3. So Knuckles gets knocked down by a robot. So, back over to Sonic's side. What we have to do here now is scan these 4 Gizoid Centurions that are just broken and laying around for whatever reason. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna drop the shield, so Shade can rush the 2 on that side. Really important I don't get caught by those guys. So that one's even standing up for whatever. I've actually never noticed that. I thought it was just always sitting. But I'm more worried about dodging the encounter than looking at the standing or sitting position of that Gizoid generally. So number 3. And number 4, gonna dodge this guy. Or walk right into him. Well, alright. I feel like I'm gonna hit every encounter on this planet. It's coming. scanning the fourth one. And it's going to switch back over to Knuckles' party in a second. And like I mentioned before, because of the scripted losses, and starting the real fight with the same resources, it's good to have a meta mitter. And ambushes mean nothing. Except at very specific points. So we're gonna... Oh, actually, that's the wrong character. So I'm gonna attack with Knuckles, actually. And then Kid and Rush both these guys. And Shadow Med uses the meta mitter. Tornado Kick, this is pretty easy to dodge. And Big should need to take an action here. Okay, that's one. And okay, he's opting for Blade Rush. Just kind of hoping he would just use immunity or something. Centurion's down. So this party actually has another boss fight coming up really, really soon. So I have to heal up before I can get into that boss fight. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Better safe than sorry. Luckily I do have individual healing items here. And POW items. So we're all good. Sitting on 4 resources. So 3 springs and then climb up this wall down here. We're gonna fight the first of the 2 like really powerful Gizoid Centurions, Scala, but not yet. Try to dodge this guy. Ah. I didn't wait long enough. Wait for maybe a second or 2 longer. Then that guy is too far down into position to catch you before you can actually take off on the ramp. So that's probably the easiest dodge in the game right there. The second Centurion. This guy is moderately difficult here. Ah. Okay, Sonic's probably getting knocked out here. There he goes. So I'll have to heal him up before I fight the next boss. So having characters knocked out actually makes it quite a bit easier to run away. And I am going to take a safety save here. Because in this underwater area, if you get into an encounter, you're not able to use power moves. You're also not able to run away from the encounter. So if you fail to dodge any enemy down here, your run dies instantly, really. And while you're underwater, it slowly drains your power points and your health. This water level isn't too long, though. I'm gonna dodge through here. I'm gonna go here to restore power points. That way, when the real fight comes along, this is a scripted loss coming up. Once that fight comes along, Sonic can actually act immediately. Yeah, Carb Disc can be really like the toughest boss in the game. Because you do have the scripted loss, and then you have to fight him like immediately after, almost. And this is why I carry along the Psychic Waters, because, well, it makes your defense go way up. So just shield the whole party with the Psychic Waters. It makes him whiff more often than not. But he does have a move called Mighty Slash, which I guess he's opening with. Fairly hard to dodge. And it can also stun the entire party, which is scary. Also, the attack animation for this guy, like the regular attack, him and Scala, it's just like, it's so ridiculously long. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. It's actually going fairly well. Yeah, every time you damage him, he just regenerates at the end of the round, so it doesn't really matter too much. He's really going in with the Mighty Slashes right now, which I kind of like. Goodbye, Tails. Just had to end the round with that. Okay, and now we fight Scala. This guy is really a pushover. So just attack, and then hit the rush, hit the rush again. And as a precaution, I do like to use Chaos Rift with Shadow. So Chaos Rift will fail, even if you get a perfect action on the boss, but it does have the potential to stun them. Or confuse them. In this case, it confused them. And that's actually not good. So we're gonna have to go an extra round since he debuffed Shade's attack. And probably again, I can't actually tell. He's really going in after Shade right now, and I'm not a fan of that. One whiff. Yeah, he debuffed her twice. So normally he would just go down to 2 of those. I do have to do backup moves now. This is where Big comes in. Get a battering ram going. Ooh. Now he's going in with the Mighty Slash. So, that uppercut also has armor piercing on it. And then Big's gonna finish this guy off. Yeah. That went actually fairly well for a backup fight. Okay. There's only 2 more bosses in the game. And there's a glitch that you can trigger on that knuckle screen. And when you come back to him, it can teleport you straight to the final boss. But it tends not to trigger more often than it does. Oh, and I like this. I can actually just use like a health root on Tails. I do like to use a backup heal. So, Cream is really just kind of a backbreak in this fight. In case anyone takes significant damage. In this case, she'll take significant damage. So this one really isn't all that important. It's more of a scary strat than anything. Alright, Alright, so hopefully we put weakness on this guy. Yeah. So he's not quite so scary anymore. So just another round or so, and yeah, he should go down. He's got a blue bomber him to death. I think I can fastball him the next time around. Or we can just do enough damage to shut him down this time. And we get our 7th Chaos Emerald. Alright, moving on to the final boss. So I believe once the water is down in that area, you actually still can run into those guys, and it still has like the same conditions where you can't run away, so on and so on. Okay, very important to have everyone sitting on full resources. We'll see if we got the glitch. So the glitch is, I think, somewhat dependent on how fast you scroll through the text boxes going into it. Looks like I didn't get it. But yeah, the glitch just teleports you from that door to the top of this cliff. So it would just bring you here. It only saves a couple seconds. It's still pretty cool to see, though. Alright, so now we're going to fight Grand Imperator X right after this short intermission. And this guy has 4 phases. First, gotta get out of this underwater area with Sonic. You can actually run into a guy here. Luckily I didn't. Oh. I'm just gonna run into this guy, though. I think you can get away? Yeah. You flee immediately. So, no harm, no foul. Just a little bit of time loss. Alright, here we go. So, phase 1, you fight him with Knuckles, Knuckles' party, and you only have to bring him down to 50% health. And he gives you a lore dump, but we're just gonna skip that. Also, he's trying to bring Knuckles to the dark side here. Alright, so Kid in a rush, and I'm gonna hope that he... Actually, I'm just gonna use a meta emitter just to be safe. And then use a rock salt on these guys. For some reason I used Froggy Rain. I thought I used Battering Ram. But it doesn't matter too much. So again, Kid Rush is a bit overpowered. So just ignores his armor totally. I guess you don't even need the rock salt at first. I usually put it on for Shadow's first action. Yeah, you learn something new every day. Anywho. That was the first half of, I guess, phase 1 you could call it? Or you could just call that phase 1. And then you go into phase 2 with Sonic's team. I actually thought it was pretty cool how they set up this final boss fight. We're gonna Rock Salt on Sonic, and then we're gonna Blue Bomber this guy a couple times. Let's see, Cream is gonna heal everyone, and then we're gonna Blow Kiss. Blow Kiss again, and this should get him as long as he behaves. Here comes Cream. If you drop any part of this power move, by the way, the whole thing fails. And I think that holds true for every power move Cream has. Alright, here we go. And this usually puts weakness on him more often than not. Alright, so he's not really a threat at this point. So just gotta power up Sonic to the nth degree and take him out. So he's currently, what, in power 4? And the second Blow Kiss is really more of a precaution. Like a PB attempter or something, I just wouldn't even go for it. Okay, so just gotta do one Blue Bomber and defend with everyone else. So this ought to take him down to 0 in one hit. Also, I think what's happening there, if I remember correctly, is he's taking reduced damage as long as those two drones are to the side of him. But with Knuckles' party, again, you can just ignore his armor. With Sonic's party, you can just make him so powerful that that doesn't even matter. Okay, so here's kind of the real final fight, and we want Shade, we want Amy, and Big. Big actually makes the cut for the final party. So this starts off with a chase sequence. Gotta hit a few of these accelerators and try not to hit these orbs. I think you need to hit another accelerator every time you hit an orb. And they do 25 damage, so kind of big boy damage for this point in the game. I think just one more, and we got him. There we go. So we want to Rock Salt on Shade. Want to Rock Salt on Sonic. Sonic can go in with the fastball here. And then, since we can't do Echidna Rush, because for this final fight, they do not allow you to choose Knuckles for whatever reason. Well, his corruption and all that. But this move, it's not armor piercing, but it does pretty good. 2, 3. And you don't want to knock out the Centurions to the side before you knock out X again. So there he goes, so we just gotta clean up. So I'm actually gonna X kick this guy, gonna fastball that guy. And I don't really like doing normal attacks on these guys because they have counters, so and that counter pretty much hits all the time. Right, so fastball, and this guy should go down after... Oh, maybe one more round. I don't think Big's gonna get him here. Oh, Sonic. Look at that. Alright, now the final battle. You guys have seen Final Fantasy VII before, right? Now we're gonna go Supersonic. The only point in the game where Sonic actually uses all the Chaos Emeralds. So now we have not Sephiroth and not Cloud here. And it's really just like one long power move. It doesn't matter if you drop an input on Pure Directs, but it does matter if you drop one on Supersonics. Alright, so that's the final boss. Time on this game is not until after you clear the credits. Which, that's coming up. Yeah, so you have to go all the way through the ending and all that. And it's going to be on the very last input of the game, which is, like, the literal end screen. Alright, so having all the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald, Sonic and friends just take off back to their world. They do realize when they get back, or I guess Eggman figured it out, that time passes differently in the Twilight Cage. So it's been years since they've been gone. Which is just long enough for Eggman to take over the planet. Yeah, so obviously they had a sequel to this game planned. And then here we are on the credits. And time's coming up pretty soon, and here. And then the game just resets itself and goes into New Game Plus. Yeah, guys, so that was Sonic Chronicles. Run didn't start out very well, but, you know, it wasn't too bad, I guess. Yeah, game restarting in 20 seconds. Yeah, no sequels to this, unfortunately. Oh, man. Yeah, so thanks for letting me run this in the game in the marathon. This is actually really fun. It's always a good time speedrunning this game, especially with the sound effects and all that. The best sound design of all time, any video game ever. Don't at me. Yeah, and good luck to all the rest of the runners. And I'm out of here.
Yep, I'll transition, right? Yep, I'll transition, right? Yep,
Okay, yeah, see it.